You love it how I move you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman, and I feel it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman. I don't wanna waste no time, yeah. You ain't got a one-track mind, yeah. Have it any way you like, yeah. And I can tell that you know I know how I want it. Ain't nobody else can relate. Boy, I like that you ain't afraid. Baby, lay me down and let's pray. I'm telling you the way I like it, how I want it, yeah. And I can be all the things you told me not to be, yeah. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing, yeah. And he said the universe and I'm the company is you love it how I move you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman, and I feel it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman. I tell you all the things you should know. So baby, take my hand, say yes so we can make it last, take it slow. And I can tell that you know I know how I want it, yeah. That you're different from the rest. And boy, if you confess, you might get blessed. See if you deserve what comes next. I'm telling you the way I like it, how I want it, yeah. And I can be all the things you told me not to be, yeah. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing, yeah. And he see the universe when I'm the company is me. You love it how I move you love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman, and I feel it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman, yeah, yeah. God is a woman, yeah, yeah. God is a woman, my one. When all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman, yeah. It lingers when we're done. You believe God is a woman.
if I really have to, I'll really slap you. King of Detroit, who they name in the city after? What? Scantless partners, who's grabbing hammers to hard shit into your heart with content you don't wanna start with. Expert, bad and evil is coming soon. MCs get stuck head first back in their mother's womb. The shit is written, in my eyes I'm the illest MC spitting. What? Leaving all of you cash shitting kittens. I gotta dish you, my niggas be cocking pistols. Shot and split you, fuck splitting the profits with you. What? 6% of y'all niggas is just pretend. Clicks with clicks, pussy niggas stick with dicks. What? Niggas act bully and blast for the fast penny. My auto is fully, plenty of you niggas pack a semi. Speak dark, show you get paid. Rhyming about it is the sweet part. You can't be street smart with a cheap heart. 5'9", a street nigga with deep feeling. What? I keep illin', my steez willing to keep killing. What? Fuck rap, a lot of y'all all is just acts. Trust that, you rhyme all whack on rough tracks. Bust, and then we all black when you get bust back at. Fuck that, you get blasted at, you get laughed at, and I'ma spit thunder. What? Stick to my guns, niggas is finished before they gimmicks. One hit wonders, what? Big balls, that's why when I spit, you click stars. I'm a pit bull, I'm just dog, I'm just raw. What? Split y'all, holler it's on, then I dish y'all. All of y'all niggas get pissed on, claiming you pissed off.
I want drama, wanna make a scary movie. Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right out of the screen and barely move me. We hard hitting, directing and starring in it. Y'all want drama, wanna make a scary movie. Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right out of the screen and barely move me. We hard hitting, directing and starring in it.
The one man on the planet that'll drive off at the Grand Canyon, hop out of a Grand Dam and land in a handstanding. Any man planning a battle will get snatched out of his clothes so fast it'll look like an invisible man standing. I'm headed for hell, I'd rather be dead or in jail. Bill Clinton, hit this, ain't better than hell. Cause any MC that chooses to go against me is getting taken advantage of, like Monica Lewinsky. Came home in a frenzy, pushing the 10 speed, screaming to Aunt Hay for 3 spokes sticking out of my pant leg. Fuck a headache, give me a migraine, damn it I like pain. You should be anywhere that a mic came. You rap knowing you act up and I'm throwing you down a flight of steps, and I'm throwing you back up 'em. If they don't like the track, fuck 'em. The rap struck 'em harder than getting hit by a Mack truck and then backed up on. And any half-ass known rapper that trespass better be ready for the second celebrity death match. So tell the medic to bring the medication in quickly. I'm sicker than the Tupac dedication to Biggie. I'm free falling feet first out of a damn tree to stampede your chest that you can't breathe. And when I'm down to my last breath, I'ma climb the Empire State Building and get to the last step and still have half
Y'all
left.
want drama, wanna make a scary movie. Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right out of the screen and barely move me. We hard hitting, directing and starring in it. Y'all want drama, wanna make a scary movie. Rappers coming in with their team and carry toolies. You can jump right out of the screen and barely move me. We hard hitting, directing and starring in it.
What? 5'9". I'm the king. What? Yeah. What? Yo. I'ma rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. I'm the king. I'ma rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. Y'all niggas is real cocky on the street. Till I drop you on your knees. Knock you on your feet. I'm like Rocky on the reach. I reign while you hope to sustain dope in this game. Something you can't stop. You can only hope to contain. I can aim, so I blaze my tool. I got a name from using pocket change to pay my dues. Niggas know I'm sharp as a shank and about as soft as you think. I'm hanging from the cross and your link. You get off of the drink. Niggas is fast learners. You're only as hot as the back burners for mad rappers and plaque burners. Talk to the foot thinking you real. I'm staring at the face of your bills, forgetting how George Washington looks. You came to box a nigga that's flat out dirty. Just name the spot and I'll be there a half hour early. I write for the purpose to express if you a nigga that's whack, you a nigga that I don't like as a person. I'ma rhyme rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. I'm the king. I'ma rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. I'm in shape to give you a quick whooping. Hard asshole in the wall. Frowning up. Niggas thinking you sick cause you sick looking. I'm heated. And I'ma go to trial blowing my triggers. Y'all niggas ain't rough. You need to smile more in your pictures. Split somebody and serve the nigga who style you bit. That bit like 10 niggas that bit somebody. Top of the world. All that's around you is beneath me. Me learning from your mistakes is the only way you can teach me. More thunder, cocking big heat. So underground niggas with beef can get more under 6 feet. Man, your missiles, I plan to dish you. Unleash with about 30 punches before the first lands and hit you. Niggas, I doubt y'all, cause I'm an outlaw. Right-handed, built with a left that can out-arm wrestle a southpaw. Gun shine bright. Y'all niggas, y'all need to rhyme like 5'9", unsigned with hype. King, I'ma rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. I'm the king. I'ma rhyme till I can't rhyme no more. Burn till I can't burn no more. Shine till there's no shine no more. Until the earth can't turn no more. Until I'm 5'9" no more. I'm the king.
On the microphone, yo, I ain't joking. On the microphone, the funk rhyming master.
What up?
What up?
What's my name?
My name is Dragon Frank.
Say Sean P.
Sean P.
That's how we do it, yo. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
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 Yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Sean P.
Sean P.
Aguilar.
Aguilar.
Ha.
Ha.
Straight music.
Great music.
Yo.
Ha.
Yeah, we all cool, Paul, anybody can get it. Winchesters, Remingtons, any shot it, I hit it, yo. Dress sloppy, but my rap is dapper. Watch Rosewood go outside and slap a cracker. Yo, various styles and various hot shit. Killed a nigga on the train with Barry Slotley, Duke. Bottom line, you ain't ready for ruck. With your girl, Duke, I'm ready to fuck. Through the knowledge, I'm ill. Especially when the guard swallowing pills. Spaz out on your bitch while she gobble my deals. All my niggas with the drama for real. Rough dread, Aguilar, body armor and steel. Squav in the Ville, untouchable. Sean Connors got killed. Y'all niggas chill for your mama get killed. Yo, what? Untouchable? Sean Connor got killed. Y'all niggas chill for your mama get killed. Yo.
And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. My niggas keep rising to the top. And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. All my niggas keep rising to the top. All my niggas. Everyone, welcome to the gangster world of Aguilar. Where it's me and my niggas, my bitches, my guns, and my cars. My dogs don't kill, they'll kill these rap stars. I like riding around with a gangster broad. I'm a gangster dog. Go with the shotty, yo, I'm shaking y'all. Wind up in prison, no thanks to y'all. Come back to the block, and I break your balls. Get murked right on the spot so we don't have to brawl. Listen up, Paul, don't fuck with Aguilar. None of these niggas can never see the catalog. I don't give a fuck if it's digital or analog. I flip to any style, Paul, press record. Give me $1 million, and that's how you bless the Lord. Bullshit me, I won't even step to y'all. Consider this shit, this is what I left with y'all. Look at all the hot shit that I kept from y'all. And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. My niggas keep rising to the top. And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. All my niggas keep rising to the top.
all my niggas.
I love spitting raps and flows. I love getting stacks of dough. Like I love hitting rats and hoes. I'm in the club with a stash of yo. Why you bumping me, guard? Acting up in front of company, guard. Got some shit up in the trunk of my car. We can fight right now. You get lumped in the bar. Bottom line, Duke, fuck who you are. Spit 2 gym stars out my mouth, give you a couple of scars.
The flame from Ruckin' Agalong,
Yeah.
and living is Spitley. We come through like this in Brooklyn, my niggas open Sitley. My niggas like Blick Street that be reppin' with me. My nigga Ike guys, y'all call him Ike Italy. It's Agalitly, featuring Sean Pritley. We don't waste no time, we take care of this quickly. For real, my nigga, it's about to get off the Hitley. But Sitley, you know where I'm at, my nigga hit me. They got me with me. Through the streets, I move swiftly. You want war with a nigga hard, come and get me. You heard? And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. My niggas keep rising to the top. And we gon' give this all that we got. Blow the spot, keep rising to the top. All my niggas keep rising to the top. All my niggas.
I respect all women, man. As long as they respect themselves. You know, that's still a coin speech. You know, Lava, Miller Corn, Black Rob. Guess why? Heard? Game. Oh. Bad boy. Can't be stopped. Won't be stopped.
We came to give love to our die-hearted real bitches that stick through their man through the bullshit with good loving and good fucking all night long. What makes a young killer feel strong, you know? We went from black thong to black stem hoes, you know? With a lifestyle bigger than door knockers. With a left-hand bodyguard like John Rocker. Killer Crocker, you serve pain, but that didn't stop ya. All for the money, got to prosper. Blame me for the babies we kill. Ain't that ill? I'm the one who wants to go to hell with it, and I'm acting kind of selfish. What up? All right, stop it, motherfucker. Let's get down, you know? Yes.
I know you wanna touch me. You know you wanna touch me. I know you wanna kiss me. I want you to kiss me. I know you wanna fuck with me. But why can't you love me?
She moved above the law, 50 G's in the floor. Type to bring Whitney a key right to her door. Wifey for drug law, living the China white. If you got her high enough, you can fuck her with a stick of dynamite. Tie her up, smack her butt, have your way. I met her Wednesday, had that by Saturday. She was half black, born in Seoul, Korea, raised in an orphanage. The men would often come to see her. The nuns didn't stop the soldiers from raping her, which is why she had panic attacks like Kim Basinger. Months went by, I heard she put bass in her stove, lit it with a stove. Stole all the grace and her soul. I saw it in her face, she was losing control, confusing the role. Her cash flow disintegrated like her ass, yo. She fell victim to the rotten apple. Say goodbye to the boss. Kingpin wants a divorce. She was diagnosed with cancer, heard it from the source. Now she monsters from manger to manger, looking to be held. Like that. What?
I know you wanna touch me. You know you wanna touch me. I know you wanna kiss me. I want you to kiss me. I know you wanna fuck with me. But why can't you love me?
Saw me running through, gun inside the face, goose. Saw what the struggle do. I mean, you act like your fake friends is loving you. They undress in front of me and I'm uncomfortable. Figure I just come to you, try to confide. But then I start thinking about the last time you lied. Movie cat, what you got to hide? What I saw burned my eyes like chloride. All I wanna know is why. I wasn't even trying to spy. Come home, dice from Bed-Stuy, all inside. Should've known. All you did was pull me down, I should've grown. Canceled the mortgage on the home. Dead to beaver plus the cellular phone. I let you roam. Now I got to leave you alone. Harsh reality is the case. Like when you spit in the wind, it might come back in your face. I just came to get my shit. No anger. You was the one kissing a stranger.
Stop the hustle, Royce nickel 9. Glock stop the tussle, 9 shots will bust you. Pine box, they stuff you, fuck you. I am not the tussle, niggas don't know me. I'm Detroit's king, nigga. Bow. Rock cities where the niggas pimp hoes and bars, strip hoes and bars, steal clothes from malls. Titties sagging, looking like they got 4 arms. Gold bottles, green bottles, Chris to the dawn. Niggas get popped for selling weed, shake with seeds. If you hate me, you hate the D. Nigga, please. I'm taking shit back to the riots in the 60s. Think I'm lying? Visit me. Where?
Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock with me. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and block with me. Rock City. And come and rock with me. Rock City. Come on. Rock City.
Suburban and city niggas hustle together. Long as there's money involved, niggas will tussle together. Long as the hustle's a hustle, the green is green, white is white. Nigga, we buying if the price is right. So, drop the mics, everything's on cock. From the shots to the dice, we are not in the hype. You can't say we can't work. Either we some plant workers or we some niggas that plant work. Detroit bitches is about it. You can just ask any one of your niggas that visit about it. Any 7 Mile bitch know how to get rich. She'll fuck you till you sleep, plus lie to your bitch. Plus she'll suck the swallow up out of your dick. And she keep a sugar daddy that'll buy her some shit. Come on.
Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock with me. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and block with me. Rock City. And come and rock with me. The city with the bars, with the boost, where the cars is produced. Yeah, we all win.
New casinos, card shuffles, numbers to bet. Disrespect and get a new smile under your neck. A city full of thug ass niggas and punk rockers. A lot of niggas act like Pac, so cops watch them. Then shot blocks up in the black of the light Timbs. White boys look, act, and rap like Slim. Fight music, knife users, never respected. Guns talk, high schools with metal detectors. A city full of Tommy Hearn stompers. Grant Hill hoopers, Barry Sanders runners, stunners. Chaldeans with weed connects like whoa. Type of weed, no need to test like dope. Type of cats you got dope, they like so. Real, then you might go.
Where? Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock with me. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and rock with me. Rock City. Come on and block with me. Rock City. And come and rock with me. Rock City. Come on 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 and rock with me. Rock with me. Come on and block with me. Rock City. And come and rock with me. Rock with me.
Detroit Rock City. Won't you come on the block with us? Won't you just come and rock with us? The next level. Royce Snicker 9.
Yo, what up, you little cucks? Oh, you little cucks, you. Oh, you little cucks, you. Why don't you stop holding your cucks over there, you little cuckholds? And turn up your radio. Because it's the James Journal on XBLN Bullion Network at XBLNBullionNetwork.com. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Got a pretty interesting show for you tonight. I've got some show prep ready. I don't want to leave you high and dry for this edition. And you know, there's been a lot going on too. A lot of really interesting shit. And you know, I love the interesting times in our world because there are a lot of let's just be honest, there are a lot of fucking boring times too. Times that just make you want to say fuck it. It's just a lot more fun to play with your dick than play video games or play the guitar, do anything else you probably should be doing that's healthy. I guess playing video games isn't that healthy. I guess it depends on who you are. I mean, if you're playing with your dick way too much, I mean, a nice downgrade to video games might do you a little bit of good. Maybe try NoFap. That'll help, by the way. I've got a little bit of experience with that myself. I try to get going on NoFap from time to time. How far I get just kind of determines on how stressed out I guess I am on any particular week or day. But sometimes I'll go, almost a week without even noticing. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I've never really stopped to think about it long enough to determine whether or not that's a good thing or bad thing. When I go a week and just don't notice. It'd be nice to even go longer, though. I wouldn't even mind. It'd save me time, save me energy. Energy is valuable these days. I don't have a lot to spare. Got to do this fucking show at 11:30 at night. Entertain you cucks that are listening over at XBLNBullionNetwork.com on the stream there. And by the way, if you're only listening to the radio feed, you can actually watch the show too on Twitch if you want. You can go over to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com and that'll take you right to our Twitch channel where we're streaming live. But also now on the new website, if you just kind of scroll down the website, the Twitch feed is sort of embedded right there into the website. So it's a pretty good deal. I've made it quite easy for you now since I'm in charge of all that shit. This is my network. Definitely got a lot to look forward to coming up in the next few weeks on this show. Stefan from Ohio is, I'm hoping, going to be able to debate Josh Smith on this show. That'd be pretty fun. Stefan got in contact with me a few days ago and told me that he was very interested in doing that. And I told him that if he wanted to do that, then I had no issue lending him the platform here on XBLN to debate Josh Smith. Only because I'm a real humanitarian, you know what I mean? I really care about the betterment of humanity. And, if it's two libertarians that are trying to really get into the weeds on an issue and really figure out who's right about it, well, I've got no problem profiting off it. Let me tell you that right now. I've got no issue. And I've got a lot of pretty interesting news coming up your way in the next few segments. It's been almost, a little bit over a month now since the demon spawn Jeffrey Epstein actually kicked the bucket, thank God. Although I have to say, although I never wish death upon anyone, I have a hard time feeling bad for him. But you know what I feel a lot worse for is the circumstances in which in which he specifically died under, I guess, in which that he was probably murdered by Israeli secret spies or something much worse than that. We can only speculate really at this point because I'm sure we'll never really get the whole truth out of this story. But it's pretty interesting that once you have crossed the line with a conspiracy, with a quote-unquote conspiracy theory, because that's what we all are now. Basically, if you're questioning the narrative of Jeffrey Epstein, you're a conspiracy theorist at this point. Even though I'd have to say the vast majority of people that I think I talk to every day have serious doubts and serious skepticism about what happened in that jail that morning last month. And rightfully so, too. I mean, this guy had a very shady history and was involved with some very shady people who were super well connected and super rich and could really have already gotten away with everything to this point, Jeffrey Epstein included. I mean, because he really had gotten away with everything up until that point. And to be honest, if he hadn't kicked the bucket, it wouldn't have surprised me if he had figured out some way to weasel his way out of all this. It would not have surprised me one bit, actually, to have seen that or learned that. So, I think to be honest, if the victims want to look at it. I mean, I feel bad saying this, but to be honest, they probably got the better of the outcomes, because I think the other outcome would have been he would have just walked and gotten off with nothing. I mean, this guy was so rich and so powerful. I mean, I think everybody thought that they had him dead to rights, but dude, you guys know I have no idea what the power of money is in politics and government. And this guy was super well connected and super wealthy. And by the way, since he's died, all this information has actually been coming out about how this guy made his fortune and why this guy was so rich and all this shit. And nobody has any idea. Everyone's only speculating about this. But one thing we do know is that he really wasn't the financier and this like economic genius that he was fucking cracked up to be. This guy really wasn't very smart. He didn't have a super great college education in economics or anything like that. I mean, he definitely wasn't any kind of Peter Schiff, you know what I mean? And somehow this guy was able to work his way up to Wall Street, one of the huge firms in Wall Street, and become a partner at one of these firms, which is probably how he made the first part of his fortune. But then once he started his own consulting firm, I guess, then he brought on his big client, Leslie Wexner, and apparently he had this rule in his firm, like nobody below $1 billion can even get his services, which is pretty good, because when you do the math, you only fucking need one client to be fucking mega rich with a business like that, it sounds like. So it sounds like Leslie Wexner, the CEO of Victoria's Secret, was that one fucking sucker that happened to get the butt of that shit bag. And I don't know how I feel about Leslie Wexner. I don't know. It's so crazy. All this could go so deep. I just have no idea. It's been a little bit over a month, and I swear to God, I've lied awake at night trying to calculate the odds of this actually happening. What's the probability of all of these circumstances aligning in that one morning where that the most important prisoner in the entire American justice system, who was supposed to be being watched every 30 minutes, but that wasn't, had cameras on him, but for some reason the cameras were malfunctioning. I'll talk about that later on the show. For some reason his cellmate was moved out. I mean, like, what's the probability of all those things happening in one event? And I've lied awake trying to figure that out. And it must be close to the probability of us actually existing in this universe, which is nearly nil. But for some reason, it ended up happening, which makes you think, okay, well, how could this be possible? The same way that people think about, well, how could we even be here without a God if that's the case? Well, how could Jeffrey Epstein have killed himself? Well, maybe somebody went in there and killed him. I don't know. Or there's this new conspiracy theory that's even come out that more and more people are latching on to, saying that he's not dead at all. But as a matter of fact, Jeffrey Epstein is alive in a witness protection program, and he made a deal with Attorney General Barr, I guess just a couple days before all this shit happened, and he is gonna undergo facial reconstructive surgery, and he's gonna get a new ID and a new identification, a new name. And then he's going to live out the rest of his life, I guess, in some foreign tropical island. Because I'm sure they're going to give him a few $1 million too to relax. So that's what happens to fucking rich people when they get busted with crimes. He's going to live out a way better life than you will for the rest of his life. And he did way worse shit than you. He's hurt people. He's molested children. And he got caught for it, and he's probably, if he is in fact alive, and I'm not sure about that, I'm not saying that. I think it's more likely that he actually was offed by some Israeli super spy group that infiltrated the jail that one morning and pulled this off in a matter of minutes. I think it's far more likely that happened. But let's just say that this guy is still alive and he's somewhere at Far Beach. Then he's living out the rest of his life comfortably, way better than you could ever imagine to live out your life with. He's probably going to live somewhere warm where the weather is always nice. He's never going to have to lift a finger for anything. And you know what? He's probably still going to be down there molesting children with his new ID, his new identification. So how fucked up is that? So that should make you want to kill this guy. That alone should make you just want to fucking punch this guy in the face. I don't understand how rich people. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. We live in a country where these people can just get away with anything, and nobody even fucking does anything about it. And you know what? The most fucked up part is if there were more people in the world like the people that are involved in centrist, more and not centrist south authoritarian style, but centrist north, libertarian freedom style. If we had more people like that in America, this kind of shit wouldn't happen. And when it did happen, we'd find out about it right away because we'd have the right people in place to investigate it and make sure it never happened again, and actually get to the bottom in the truth, and there'd be real transparency. But everyone would rather vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. That's what everyone would rather do. Or Beto O'Rourke, who, by the way, in case you didn't watch the debate, wants to go ahead and just take your guns. He doesn't he just admitted it. Usually politicians are really good at beating around the bush and churching something up to something that is really not. I heard an interview, actually it was with Alex Jones and Joe Rogan earlier. They were talking to each other about how a politician in Virginia was talking about downplaying aborting babies that were already born, like basically killing babies. And he's talking about this shit nonchalantly. I mean, you can do that shit, and it doesn't make it better. But Beto O'Rourke, he didn't even downplay it. He just said, "I'm going to flat out take your fucking guns," and that's going to be the end of it. And then he gave some kind of, he made sure he got the crowd cheering while he was talking, so he could basically say the dumbest shit you've ever heard of that didn't make any sense, but the crowd's cheering, so it sounds really good. Looked really good on television, Looks really good on ABC Network. Thanks fucking ABC for that shit, We really wanted your help in determining how fucking shitty the rest of our lives are going to be with fucking Beto O'Rourke as the president. And let me tell you something. There are rumors in the underground media about Beto O'Rourke right now that last night, 2 nights ago or last night, they all fucking meshed together at this point. Beto O'Rourke is now higher in the polls than he was after all that fucking crazy nonsense. You'd think it would have taken him back a couple notches. Now, of course, I don't know. Those are all mainstream media polls, so give that credit what you will. The mainstream media also told us that Hillary Clinton was going to win the election in 2016. But it's just fucking insane how there's even anyone that could hear this shit and just think that this is not fucking completely crazy. I mean, all this shit has been promised by people before, by the likes of Joseph Stalin and people like that. This shit is fucking dangerous. I mean, you want to talk about taking guns. There's a reason why we had that Second Amendment here in the United States. And people, and there's this fucking rumor, this bullshit rumor that the Second Amendment is meant because, troops, need to keep their guns when it's not wartime, just in case there ever was another wartime or war event that they had to up an arm at. But that's fucking bullshit. The reason why the Founding Fathers actually put the Second Amendment in the United States Constitution was because they knew that fucking governments were evil, that they were fucking bullies, that they were fucking violent, and that governments had a history already in the mid 1700s of fucking disarming their population and ruling them with an iron fist in an authoritarian fashion. And the Founding Fathers knew that. So they knew that they had to have a Second Amendment, so in case that the government's army ever turned against them, they'd be able to defend themselves. It had nothing to do with all that other bullshit lies that you were taught in your fucking school. It has to do with the fact that the government is violent, and the Founding Fathers were essentially right about that. Now, they were wrong about a lot of shit, and I'll admit that. I'll be the first to admit that Thomas Jefferson had a lot he was fucking wrong about. But there was a lot he was right about, too, and that was one particular thing that he just happened to get right. We're coming up on the quarter hour here in the first hour of the show. I'm going to take a little break. I got lots of show prep here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein case. And then we're going to talk about what we actually know about it right now, the real facts that we have. Because there's a lot of confusion. If you watch the mainstream media everybody's got different facts about this. Nobody knows what the real facts are as far as his suicide. Everybody's got a different fucking set of facts in this particular in this particular case in Jeffrey Epstein's death, which is fucking insane. All the mainstream media outlets have a different set of facts. How the fuck does that happen? But we're gonna go over the real facts on what we know so far, and these have all been fact checked through very credible sources. So we're gonna go over the real facts when we come back, and we're gonna go over Beto O'Rourke and his bullshit, and then we're gonna watch his video clip. Then we're gonna go over some of the other Democratic debate shit. I watched a lot of it. I think it was a bunch of fucking nonsense, but we're going to watch some clips, and then we're going to talk about how it's basically just a three-ring circus of people that are just trying to fucking out-left each other. And then at the end, we're going to talk about Jessica Yaniv. Who the fuck is this person, Jessica Yaniv? Well, I looked into this because this person came across my radar a couple weeks ago. It was just about a week ago now, and she is fucking out of her mind, dude. This person is insane. It's a he, technically, because it has a big dick and balls, and it's a big blob. It's a big disgusting blob. You can Google this person, and by the way, her last name is spelled Yaniv. But I'm going to talk about her later on the show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages. It's James Journal on XBLN. Stick around, baby. It starts in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, surges down to Baltimore City, flies up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and all over the world. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network. Join the XBLN Bullion Network Discord at discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. Chat with other listeners, talk about hot topics, and even request songs for Reverb 2.0 and the Request Songs Forum. Call the live shows at the XBLN Bullion Network studio with the on-air call-in lines and high-definition audio. Download the Discord mobile app so you can take advantage of all the high-definition call-in features. Go to discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. We get it, okay? Radio these days is terrible. That's why you're here, because you're sick of hearing the same top 40 songs on the radio day after day, over and over again. You can support XBLN Bullion Network and the revolution in radio by liking XBLN Bullion Network on Facebook. Just go to facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com and hit the like button. It's that simple. Just take a second to do it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know that XBLN Bullion Bullion Network now has a video feed on Twitch. The Twitch feed is available during our live shows here in the XBLN Bullion Network studio in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and during some other shows too. To get there, just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out, especially if you subscribe to Amazon Prime. If you're a member of Amazon Prime and you subscribe to our Twitch, we'll get a cut of your annual membership fee. Believe it or not, this is one of the easiest and best ways you can support XBLN Bullion Network, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. Just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And once you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes you 1 extra second, and the difference it makes to XBLN Bullion Network is enormous. Twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionnetwork.com. Brought to you by Bullion Media at bullionmedia.net. That's bullionmedia.net. Yo, what up? Welcome back, you little cuckolds. Oh, you little cucks, you. Oh, you little cucks, you. Appreciate you joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the James Journal, exclusively on XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionnetwork.com. And we've got some new radio servers over there, and I'm going to clean up all these stupid ads, too, because we don't need to. There's actually ads we don't even need to include now anymore because we're not on that other radio service, so we get to decide basically all the ads that we have on our radio station now. So I'm going to be cleaning that up. You won't have to hear those fucking PSAs anymore pretty soon, because I know that sucks. So you got that to look forward to as well. Make sure you check out our Discord if you're not in there, discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. I just saw Johnny Coxville appear in the Discord just a little bit ago, so welcome back, Johnny Coxville. Rising fan of XBLN Bullion Networks. We definitely appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Johnny Coxville, for your support. So we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein before the break, and then the Democratic Party, and then who Jessica Yaniv was just someone who came across my radar earlier this week. And I've got a lot to cover tonight, and some pretty fascinating stuff here, and I kind of teased this before the break, but I'm going to go over exactly what we know about Jeffrey Epstein right now, because there's a lot of, because not even the mainstream media can get their facts straight. Nobody has their facts straight on this story. These facts have been fact-checked over and over again. These are the facts that we know, or at least that we're being told, and we're going to go through them right now. And then you can decide for yourself what you think about this case, because I think it was probably a murder. And I think Jeffrey Epstein was probably a Mossad agent. I can talk about that a little bit later, too. For those of you that don't know, Mossad is one of the Israeli, basically the Israeli equivalent to the CIA, basically. And I believe Jeffrey Epstein was working with Mossad in Israel. And I'm not fucking around about that. I talked about this on the last show. And there are a lot of other independent media outlets, at the very least, that are talking about this. There are some mainstream media outlets that are talking about it. But it's pretty fascinating stuff. But let's just talk about the facts here, okay? So, Jeffrey Epstein had been released from suicide watch probably about a week before he committed suicide, okay? They think, this hasn't been confirmed, but they think it might have been his attorneys that requested him to get off of suicide watch. That hasn't been confirmed. What we do know is that there should be a very long process for an inmate of that stature to actually get off of suicide watch. There should have been a meeting with some of the executives at the jail. There should have been lots of paperwork that had to get signed, and we're not sure if any of that got done. So, and the reason why we know that is because there are many attorneys and prosecutors that have come out, and jail wardens and things like that said a prisoner of this caliber would have needed that to have been released off suicide watch. So that's the first thing we know. The second thing we know is that even though he was off suicide watch, the guards were still supposed to be checking on Jeffrey Epstein every 30 minutes but they didn't do it. And their excuses for this, what we're told right now, at least by the mainstream media, and it might be the truth, it might be a complete fabrication. These guards could have been bought off. Nobody knows. But this is the story we're being told. The guards are way overworked there. One of the guards was on his something like his fifth in a row shift of overtime or something like that. He'd been on a lot of overtime. And the jail, and actually after all this happened, it was confirmed that the jail warden had blamed, I guess, the Trump administration for like underfunding them or something like that, which they might be. I don't know. But I do know also since then that jail warden has been reassigned or he's been demoted. He's not the jail warden there anymore. So here's the third fact. Even though they were supposed to be checking on him every 30 minutes, but we know they weren't checking on him every 30 minutes because they were tired or overworked or whatever the reason was. They also were falsifying the documents that they were supposed to be filling out, I guess, the records, saying that they were checking on Epstein every 30 minutes, but they weren't doing it. So we know that is a fact right now, and that's a well-documented fact in the mainstream media as well. So these guards had falsified records. Whether or not it was just out of laziness and negligence or it was out of something more malicious, we don't know. We don't have any facts on that yet. At least not that we've uncovered. So, here's the next fact. Epstein's cellmate was transferred out of his cell for unknown reasons at this point. And there are some speculations as to the reasons, but nobody can nail. There's no consistency in any of the news medias as to why that reason is as to why he actually got transferred out of his cell. So nobody knows for sure. But he did get transferred out of his cell just a few days before Jeffrey Epstein's suicide, even though Jeffrey Epstein was specifically supposed to be housed with a cellmate. That was part of the deal, okay? He was supposed to be housed with a cellmate, and he wasn't, and they had moved his cellmate out of there just a couple days before he committed suicide. And not only that, but here's another fact that we know. This isn't a prison. It's a jail, and it's like a holding jail. It's a facility that's used to house prisoners before trial, before their sentence, because Jeffrey Epstein was awaiting trial. Basically, every cellmate in that jail, every prisoner in that jail had a cellmate. Almost every single one of them, except for Jeffrey Epstein, on the morning he committed suicide. So that's something that we know, and that is a fact. So here's the next fact after that. Just a couple days before his death, we do know also that Jeffrey Epstein transferred his fortune into an irrevocable trust so that his victims couldn't get it in civil court. So for those of you who don't know, an irrevocable trust is something you put your money into, especially if you're transferring it from like an LLC or something like that. And you can transfer right to this irrevocable trust. It is extremely fucking difficult to get a hold of funds that are in an irrevocable trust, unless you're like the person who's stated on the trust to be able to get the money. It's extremely difficult. I do know they think at this point the victims still actually will be able to access it now. That it sounds like there were some loopholes that they're going to be able to utilize to actually get into that irrevocable trust through the court system and actually allow the victims into that irrevocable trust with his fortune in it. But a fact of the matter is, though, he did actually transfer that to an irrevocable trust, which is something that people who are going to get sued will do. So that is a fact, another fact, and it's been reported in the mainstream media. Here's the next fact after that. Jeffrey Epstein's hyoid bone was found to be broken in the autopsy of his death. Here's why this is important. Because hyoid bones are usually only found to be broken during strangulations, okay? It's not saying that it never happens in suicides and in hangings, because it can, particularly in older people. Jeffrey Epstein was 66 at the time of his death. But it's not typical. It's much more typical to find these hyoid bone breaks when somebody's been strangled. So that's the next fact that we know. And there have been people that have been tweeting about that specific fact, and people that have been claimed to have been doctors and then confirmed to have been doctors that have said, of all the people that have died in hanging themselves and broken their hyoid bones, there's only been like 31 known cases in history of this actually happening to anyone, old or not old. And there's serious speculation among the doctors that have tweeted this out that he was number 32. And I don't blame them, of course, because, I mean, that's very unlikely. But it can happen, apparently. It is possible. It's somehow statistically possible. But here is the last fact that's going to blow your mind. And this is the fact that nobody's getting right in the mainstream media. There is camera footage, in fact, of this incident. There's camera footage of it. But it's been deemed unusable, and nobody has any idea why. It's unusable, and nobody knows. So this camera footage, I guess, was sought after during the autopsy too. And then obviously after the autopsy was done, they said, okay, well, yep, it's a suicide. That's it. It's a suicide. He committed suicide. And now we know that there was, in fact, footage that was captured by that camera, but it's been deemed by someone in the bureaucratic system of the federal government somewhere to be unusable. They haven't stated why. Nobody has fucking any idea why. It's ridiculous. And that has to make you think, where the fuck is this camera footage? What the fuck is on this camera footage? What does that even mean it's unusable? What does that mean? I mean, if the cameras were destroyed, if they were malfunctioning, I'd imagine they would have just said that. Or if the footage was corrupted, or if the camera had broken, I guess, mysteriously in the middle of an incident, and the footage got, I don't know, messed up somehow, and they had to run it through a video recovery program to recover it. I feel like that would have been something that's pretty easily explainable. And all they gave us is that the footage is unusable, period. That's it. And we have no idea why. So this is super fucking sketchy. I think this is totally something to send off red flags about. This is the federal government here. And here's another thing. There is camera footage somewhere of this incident that has not been released to the public on Jeffrey Epstein, the most important prisoner in the American justice system. But yet this footage is just being deemed unusable, and nobody in America, no American citizen is allowed to look at this footage. This is fucked up, man. This is 1984 George Orwellian shit right here. I mean, imagine if this was, forget about the fact it was Jeffrey Epstein. He was a piece of shit, so I know you have a hard time pitying this. But look, what if this was your mother or something, okay? I mean, what if this was someone in a completely different situation who might have even been innocent? I mean, this is insane. I mean, what if this was a witness for the mafia? Here's something really interesting. Rudy Giuliani, who was a prosecutor, I guess, in the 70s, in New York, and who had prosecuted mob bosses, was talking about this Jeffrey Epstein case and the ridiculousness of this. The quote he used when they were interviewing him about this was, "It's impossible. There's no way this could have possibly happened. He was the most important prisoner in the American justice system." But then after he was talking about all this and how it's statistically impossible, and it pretty much is, then he talked about this case that he prosecuted in the 70s with the mafia, and how the mafia and how there was one, I guess, henchman for the mafia who was turning state evidence, okay? And he was going to testify against all his mafia brethren, all the mafioso he had done business with over years. And I guess the night before his trial, he had jumped off a building and mysteriously committed suicide. He committed suicide because he jumped off a building the night before he was supposed to testify against a bunch of high-profile mobsters who were murdering people and had lots and lots of money. And then Rudy Giuliani went on to say after this, after he was explaining this case, that the headline in the newspaper the next day about this was, "The canary can sing, but it can't fly." Makes sense? You know? And that's the same situation here with Jeffrey Epstein. The canary can sing, but he can't fly. And there's a video of Ben Swann, and I think I even played it, back when this had just happened. Actually, yeah, the last James Journal I did on the Epstein case was that day. It was later that night. I was one of the first independent media outlets to actually be reporting on this story. And I played you a video that day of Ben Swann 2 weeks earlier, after Jeffrey Epstein had been arrested and after he had mysteriously been harmed in prison and found with bruises around his neck. He was asked by Rick Sanchez on Russia Today if he thought that Jeffrey Epstein was going to sing. And his answer was, he's not going to sing because he's going to mysteriously jump off a yacht just the same way his stepfather, Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who was also more than likely a Mossad agent, had died in 1993. Look that shit up on Google. Robert Maxwell was also a Mossad agent. Ghislaine Maxwell's father. I'm not making this shit up. Fucking Google it. And that's why I believe that Jeffrey Epstein was probably also a fucking Mossad agent. I've got tons of evidence to prove this, I believe. And I could talk about it more. I mean, I could go all night about this. I mean, this goes so fucking deep. And there's so much evidence also, because these Israelis are such great spies. I mean, it is possible that, they could have gone in and potentially even rescued this guy and not killed. I think it's far more likely that they killed him. But it's a possibility that these guys are good enough to go in and rescue this guy, leave a dead Jeffrey Epstein body lookalike in the cell. And by the way, if you have seen those pictures of Jeffrey Epstein getting wheeled out of that jailhouse, that does not fucking look like Jeffrey Epstein. If you look at that guy's nose, that does not fucking look like Jeffrey Epstein at all. You can Google the picture, and it is scary how much it doesn't look like him. And man, I don't know. This whole thing just freaks me out. It's so crazy. I've lied awake at night trying to calculate the probability of all this happening in my mind, and it's just so highly unlikely. There has to be something behind it. If you are one of those people that are still out there thinking, nope, the story I'm being told is right, he committed suicide in the jail cell and that is the end of it, like Paul Krugman, for example, that fucking cuck, I think you're fucking lying to yourself. You're only lying to yourself, because there's no way that all this could have happened. You need to stop and think for yourself. What is the probability of each single one of these events happening and then him committing suicide? But then each one of these events happening together and then him committing suicide, plus the hyoid bone breaking, plus the fact that there does in fact exist camera footage of this incident, but nobody has any idea where it is. It's been deemed unusable, and nobody has any fucking clue why. So you just need to ask yourself that question. And I think if you're not willing to do that, then why are you even listening to this show? We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back to talk about Mr. Beto O'Rourke and how cucky he is and how he wants to take your guns because he doesn't trust you to not kill anyone in America. He thinks you're going to take your AR-15 and he thinks you're going to go kill somebody with it like a psychopath. So he wants to make sure that he takes your gun away from you before you do that, because you are not a responsible person, and Beto O'Rourke is. So we'll talk about that and the Democratic debate right here on the James Journal on XBLN Bullion Network when we come back. Stay tuned. It starts in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, surges down to Baltimore City, flies up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and all over the world. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network. Join the XBLN Bullion Network Discord at discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. Chat with other listeners, talk about hot topics, and even request songs for Reverb 2.0 and the Request Songs Forum. Call the live shows at the XBLN Bullion Network studio with the on-air call-in lines and high-definition audio. Download the Discord mobile app so you can take advantage of all the high-definition call-in features. Go to discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. We get it, okay? Radio these days is terrible. That's why you're here, because you're sick of hearing the same top 40 songs on the radio day after day, over and over again. You can support XBLN Bullion Network and the revolution in radio by liking XBLN Bullion Network on Facebook. Just go to facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com and hit the like button. It's that simple. Just take a second to do it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know that XBLN Bullion Network now has a video feed on Twitch? The Twitch feed is available during our live shows here in the XBLN Bullion Network studio in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and during some other shows too. To get there, just go to twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out, especially if you subscribe to Amazon Prime. If you're a member of Amazon Prime and you subscribe to our Twitch, we'll get a cut of your annual membership fee. Believe it or not, this is one of the easiest and best ways you can support XBLN Bullion Network, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. Just go to twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. And once you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes you 1 extra second, and the difference it makes to XBLN Bullion Network is enormous. Twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionetwork.com. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionetwork.com. Brought to you by Bullion Media at bullionmedia.net. That's bullionmedia.net. Welcome back. You're on the James Journal on XBLN Bullion Network with me, Cullen James. And I appreciate you being here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Discord if you're not already in there at discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. And call the show and, really good audio, almost high definition audio. If you have the app, you can jump in the on-air call-in lines there. And you'll be able to do that right from your smartphone, and you're going to sound a lot better than you would if you kind of just called from a regular phone. So we can get you on the air, and you can discuss whatever you want. It's an open phone show, so that's at discord.xblnbullionetwork.com, and I really recommend it, just because it's pretty fun. I mean, how often do you get to call the radio in almost high definition audio and actually even get to say anything at all? I mean, if you watch Sean Hannity or Russell Limbaugh, they might take your call and let you say one sentence before they hang up on you, or if or they might let you ask one question and then hang up on you before they respond to it in some long response before they go on to the next caller. Not here, because we actually do real radio here, and we're anarchist radio with a punk rock attitude and an anarchist agenda. So I definitely recommend that you support us by going to patreon.xblnbullionetwork.com too, because we just got our first new Patreon member yesterday from Wesley the G, who's a prominent member of our XBLN Discord. So we really appreciate it, and he's donating $5 a month, and he's doing that just because he loves the content that we create, and he really loves listening to it on the weekends. And he's donated $5 a month to keep us going. So we really appreciate Wesley for doing that. And you could do the same thing if you've liked what you heard so far, and you like the fact that you can call the show, and you like the fact that we take song requests on Reverb 2.0 and all the other shit that we do here. So that's patreon.xblnbullionetwork.com. Let's get back into the show prep here, because I do got some more stuff to talk about. I did want to talk about Mr. Beto O'Rourke and how he's the biggest communist ever, and he just wants to take your guns away because he's a violent motherfucker. This guy talks about, how ironic is this, okay? Because this guy talks about people killing people with guns. But if you don't surrender your gun to him, if he becomes the president and decides to take your gun, he's going to kill you, and he's going to take your gun. And he's not even going to have to do the work. He's going to send men with guns themselves to do it for you, because he can be trusted. The Beto O'Rourke administration would be trusted to use AR-15s, M16s, and guns against people correctly. But we, the people who just want to defend our homes, and just in case we were to get robbed at night, we don't know how to use guns properly. We don't know how to use guns against other people in a moral fashion the way Beto O'Rourke does, because he's morally superior to us. So you should just remember that. And without further ado, before I kind of start talking about it, I do actually want to watch the clip because it's interesting. So this is Beto O'Rourke at the Democratic debate, basically admitting that he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's going to take your guns. He doesn't care if he admits it. He doesn't care what any normal people in America think. He's just appealing to the most leftist, most base instincts of people that have no idea what they're talking about and have no realistic vision on life. And he's preying on their emotions and pandering on their emotions, and he does a really good job of it, because he does actually get some applause here. But it'll make you sick to your stomach though. But let's listen to it, because it's pretty entertaining.
I do want to come to Congressman O'Rourke because I know this is personal to you. El Paso is your hometown. Some on this stage have suggested a voluntary buyback for guns in this country. You've gone further. You said, quote, Americans who own AR-15s and AK-47s will have to sell them to the government, all of them. You know the critics call this confiscation. Are you proposing taking away their guns, and how would this work?
I am, if it's a weapon that was designed to kill people on a battlefield.
Nice. Yep. As long as it was a weapon that was designed to kill people on the battlefield, Beto is intending on taking it from you. He will take it from you, and he will get it, because he is the government, and the government gets what it wants. Do you see the look on his face? Some of you, and by the way, I actually put the clip up on the screen for the people that are actually watching the Twitch stream. Some of you are listening, so you can't actually see what's happening. But I paused it at this exact moment where in the middle of Beto's little monologue here, he's got the most evil look on his face that I just happened to pause this at. It just, I can't imagine what an evil dictator would look like thinking about overthrowing society, but he's got the most evil look on his face. And I might, and look, feel free to call in and debate me on this. I'm just an asshole behind the microphone. If you love Beto O'Rourke and I'm offending you, call in and tell me off. I can handle it. But this, I mean, the look on his face right now is almost scary. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of scary. But let's hear what he has to say. And he's already admitted that he's actually going to take your guns because they asked him, they're like, are you going to take your guns? And he's like, yes, I'm going to do it. And there it is. Here we go.
If the high impact, high velocity round, when it hits your body, shreds everything inside of your body because it was designed to do that.
Man, I love his use of imagery here. He should have been an author. Thanks, Beto O'Rourke. That was some great imagery you just used to really help your cause there, to really help your case against assault. As it tears the inside of your body to shreds while it travels through you and just rips apart your insides. That's called pandering to your emotions. He's doing a really good job of it.
So that you would bleed to death on a battlefield and not be able to get up and kill one of our soldiers. When we see that being used against children, and in Odessa, I met the mother of a 15-year-old girl who was shot by an AR-15, and that mother watched her bleed to death over the course of an hour because so many other people were shot by that AR-15 in Odessa and Midland. There weren't enough ambulances to get to them in time. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Okay. Oh, my God. I just got to stop this right now and just explain why this is fucking retarded. Okay. So the first thing I got to get out of the way here is to blame the fact that we don't have enough ambulances to help people that we actually could have helped, it sounds like. I mean, an hour, that's a long time to just be bleeding out. The fact that we didn't have enough ambulances in our society to fucking help that little girl, that's a bigger problem than the fucking gun. Because, let me tell you, 932 people since 1982 have died of mass shooters. Only 932 of mass shooters. That might have gone up since the El Paso shooting, because that statistic I think was before that. But 932, and you want to take away the freedoms of millions and millions and millions of people who would never even dream of doing something like that. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. It's like taking the cars away from millions and millions and millions of people because there are a couple people that killed somebody drunk driving. I mean, this is fucking crazy. But this is logic to Beto O'Rourke because he's moral and he knows what's best for you because he is in the well-known good moral non-profit sector while you work in that pig capitalist sector, that nasty for-profit, disgusting, selfish for-profit capitalist system that nobody could ever dream of working in.
Your AK-47, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
So thanks. That was Beto O'Rourke telling you that he is going to take your gun away from you. So I hope you like that. Beto, by the way, is the... Oh, man. And I just realized this, too. You just switch one letter in his name, the last letter, and his name's Beta. And that really describes his personality, too, because that was the cuckiest fucking monologue I've ever heard. And I stopped that a couple times just because I wanted to comment on it, just because I think it was a load of fucking garbage. But... that was the cuckiest minute and a half monologue I've ever heard. It was so cucky, dude. So cucky. And there was one woman who, like, after he said that he was going to fucking take people's guns away by force, she, like, went nuts. Like, I don't know if any of you noticed this, but she went nuts in the audience and, like, stood up and, like, started cheering for Beto like he's a golden fucking god. Because he said he was going to take people's guns away by force because... AR-15s just happen to shred people when they travel through a child. That was great. That was another great way to pander to people's emotions too. whenever you need to pander to people's emotions and make it really effective, just bring in the children, and you're going to be fine. As long as you involve the children in the pandering, you're going to be able to pander pretty effectively, because there's going to be some crazy lady in the audience that doesn't care about anything else except the fact that you mentioned the word fucking children in the sentence that you just fucking mentioned. So she's going to stand up and go nuts so you take people's guns away. But let's talk a little bit more about that Democratic debate, because that was not the only level of cuckiness in that debate. There was much more cuckiness, and there was much more disgusting moments that I think we need to go over. Thank God Joe Biden's eye didn't start bleeding, by the way, in the middle of that debate. I don't know if you saw that video of Joe Biden's eye just bleeding in the middle of this interview. If you go into Google and just type in Joe Biden's eye bleeding, like a few days ago, he was like being interviewed, and his fucking eye just started bleeding out of fucking nowhere. Like, this guy's in no condition to be the president. I mean, this guy's in really bad shape. I mean, there's like a bunch of like really serious health related conditions that are potentially the cause of your eye just like breaking out into like blood like that, like it did with Joe Biden on that interview. One of them could be severely high blood pressure. One of them could be aneurysms. Like, the list of like really bad, dangerous shit just goes on and on for your eye, just like fucking just blowing a blood vessel like that randomly in the middle of an interview. So normally that'd be the kind of thing that I'd really laugh at and make fun of on the show, because it is really easy to laugh at and make fun of, except for the fact that Joe Biden's old as shit and he probably actually could die any second. So it's not funny, because he is actually somebody's grandfather and he could die, despite how fucking creepy this guy is. I mean, you can watch the video of the InfoWars guy, not Alex Jones, but one of his the British guy on InfoWars, Watson. That's his name, Watson. You can watch his video about creepy Uncle Joe. If you go into YouTube and just type in creepy Uncle Joe, I bet that video will come up. But all the like the young girls that he's touched, man, it's so disgusting. And you're right. There's no way he could just be that fucking intimate with a like a 6 to 12-year-old girl and it just not be by accident. I mean, he's got some kind of perversion or something. I don't fucking know what the fuck's wrong with him. But that's another reason he shouldn't be the president. But it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being the nominee, though, still, to be honest, because for some reason people aren't taking this into consideration, all this fucking disgusting footage of Joe Biden touching all these young girls. And I mean, it's pretty disgusting. It'll gross you out a little bit. I don't know if you've seen it, but you don't even have to Google that. Just Google Joe Biden touching young girls. There's probably a million videos on this, and some of this is like highly inappropriate. And then one of the girls that he tried to touch was like a really young teen, like a 13-year-old girl, and he like leans in to like kiss her on the cheek, and she moves away from him like all freaked out. Dude, that's fucking so creepy, man. That's so fucking creepy. Like, that is so socially unacceptable. I don't know how the fuck anybody could get away with that. I mean, first of all, that's fucking appalling. It's fucking appalling to just do to any woman. Just to creep any woman out to the point where you're leaning in and invading their personal space like that. But then to do it to a fucking 13-year-old girl, I mean, dude, this is so socially unacceptable. This guy's a fucking politician. And this shit hasn't exploded in the media. I mean, if this guy was Gary Johnson, Joe Scarborough would have eaten this guy fucking alive already. Do you guys remember the Aleppo incident? When I'm about to go to break in a couple minutes. When I go to break, you can Google Gary Johnson Aleppo if you don't remember that shit. In 2016, when our guy, the libertarian guy, fucking didn't know what Aleppo was on national television. Now, I don't really necessarily fucking even blame him for that. I blame, to be honest, Morning Joe for that. They were doing everything they could to stump him all throughout the interview. If you watch the whole interview, they were just throwing left and right hooks trying to stump this guy, and they finally did it with Aleppo. It was pretty fucking sad to watch, actually. But while I'm on the break, you can watch those two videos, and you can watch fucking Joe Biden touching young girls. That's the first thing you watch, just so you know I'm not lying, and you can actually see the footage for yourself. And then if you don't remember Gary Johnson fucking up the Aleppo thing, you can watch that. And imagine if Joe Biden was Gary Johnson. I just want you, and then after you watch those two videos, and you can even, if you have extra time in the 5 minutes that I'll be gone, you can watch like maybe some of the clips of the media just eating Gary Johnson alive after that moment. They just ate him alive. Joe Biden is fucking touching young girls, and nobody is doing anything about it. Nobody's saying anything about it. That is fucking insane, dude. This is so insane. If Gary Johnson had been touching young girls like that in the 2016 like right before the 2016 election, there would have been a huge media storm about this. But of course, there's not about Joe Biden, because what would happen to the status quo if we reported that kind of information on Joe Biden to the American public? It's 12:30, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. You're on the James Journal on XBLNBullionNetwork.com. Join the Discord while we're on break at discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. We're going to talk about the Democratic debate when we get back, and we're going to actually watch a short video of all the fucking cuckery that went on there. I've got a nice short 3-minute video you'll like. It's from The Guardian. You'll dig it. It's cool. We'll be right back. Stick around. It starts in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, surges down to Baltimore City, flies up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and all over the world. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network. Join the XBLN Bullion Network Discord at discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. Chat with other listeners, talk about hot topics, and even request songs for Reverb 2.0 and the Request Songs Forum. Call the live shows at the XBLN Bullion Network studio with the on-air call-in lines and high-definition audio. Download the Discord mobile app so you can take advantage of all the high-definition call-in features. Go to discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. discord.xblnbullionnetwork.com. We get it, okay? Radio these days is terrible. That's why you're here, because you're sick of hearing the same top 40 songs on the radio day after day, over and over again. You can support XBLN Bullion Network and the revolution in radio by liking XBLN Bullion Network on Facebook. Just go to facebook.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's facebook.xblnbullionnetwork.com and hit the like button. It's that simple. Just take a second to do it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know that XBLN Bullion Network now has a video feed on Twitch? The Twitch feed is available during our live shows here in the XBLN Bullion Network studio in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and during some other shows too. To get there, just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out, especially if you subscribe to Amazon Prime. If you're a member of Amazon Prime and you subscribe to our Twitch, we'll get a cut of your annual membership fee. Believe it or not, this is one of the easiest and best ways you can support XBLN Bullion Network, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. Just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And once you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes you 1 extra second, and the difference it makes to XBLN Bullion Network is enormous. twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionnetwork.com. Brought to you by Bullion Media at bullionmedia.net. That's bullionmedia.net.
I say we are gonna control the dance hall. Oh yeah. I say we are gonna control the dance hall. Yes, we are gonna control the dance hall tonight. I say we are gonna control the dance hall tonight. Yes, I say we are gonna control the dance hall.
What up, you little cucks? Thanks for joining us for the second hour of the James Journal. Appreciate you being here. Exclusively on XBLNBullionNetwork.com. Unless you're watching on the Twitch feed, which I highly recommend you do as well. Because if you're just listening to the show on the standard radio feed over there at XBLNBullionNetwork.com, you can actually watch me host the show on Twitch at twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. Really recommend you go over there and smash that follow button. That'll really help us out, believe it or not. It helps us out a lot more than you think. So if you have a second and you're already on Twitch, just log in and just smash that follow button. It only takes a second. I really appreciate it. Also, you can watch it D-Live at dlive.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And if I can't get very far on Twitch, because, I mean, it is a crowded platform, I may switch over to D-Live. It's a newer platform. Some other people are having success with it. LRN's having success with it, so I might just do D-Live and make that the primary platform, but right now it's Twitch. Either way, you can see that on either of those feeds. You just, either do, depending on Twitch or D-Live, just put that at the front of the web address and do .xblnbullionnetwork.com, respectively. So before the break, we were talking about the Democratic debate, and I went over Beto O'Rourke and his cuckery from the Democratic debate about how he basically admitted to everyone, to America, that he was just going to basically take people's guns because he's a communist, he's an absolute authoritarian, he's a statist. I can't think of anything more authoritarian than kicking someone's door in and taking their gun in America. I mean, I guess at that point the Second Amendment will have truly died, right? Because, once they can just kick your door in and take your gun or kill you if you don't give it up, I mean, that's definitely not in line with the Second Amendment. Whatever. I'm not a fucking political philosopher. I'm just an asshole behind the microphone. But I've got a pretty great video for you of some of the other cuckery that went on from some of the other bureaucrats and politicians and liars in the Democratic debate. And I got to say, I think of all of them, I would have liked to have seen Tulsi Gabbard in that debate. I've been pretty open about how I surprisingly really like Tulsi Gabbard. She's a Democrat, but she's a really honest Democrat. I'm not a huge fan of her economic policies, but as far as her social policies and being anti-war and stuff like that, I love that shit. She's the most anti-war candidate I've seen since Ron Paul, and I think that would be worth enough of a vote to get for me, I think. I haven't decided if I'm going to vote for her or not in a primary. I'd like to. I think that it'd be worth it. It would be the first time I ever voted Democrat, but man, depending on the outcome, I don't know. Since she's not going to be the president anyway, I'd imagine I could probably do that without feeling any kind of guilt and any kind of guilt afterwards, because she wouldn't ever actually become the president. But let's go ahead and check out some of the debate cockery, because there is some pretty funny clips in here, Andrew Yang was one of the few I could take seriously that was actually in the debate. Even him, I mean, he's kind of a socialist, but he's not. I don't think he's as much of a socialist as the rest of them. So he did okay. I'd probably prefer him over some of the other crazy people. But Kamala Harris is just a fucking complete status, man. I can't believe there are still people that take anything this woman says seriously. She's a complete fucking neocon, and you're gonna love what she fucking says in this shit. But let's go ahead and check out the video. This is from The Guardian, and this is just some of the highlights of the Democratic debate, the most recent one.
They're going to give back that money to the employee?
Matter of fact, they will.
Well, let me tell you something. For a socialist, you got a lot more confidence in corporate America than I do.
You got to defend the fact that today, not only do we have 87 million people uninsured and underinsured, you got to defend the fact that 500,000 Americans are going bankrupt. You know why they're going bankrupt? Because they suffered a terrible disease, cancer or heart disease. Under my legislation, people will not go into financial ruin.
Dude, I feel so bad for him, man. He sounds like he's fucking dying right now. I mean, just listen to his voice. He just can't even talk anymore. He's yelled so much in his lifetime that he's just becoming a fucking absolute vegetable when he's fucking trying to, when he's ranting. And you can't even fucking understand him anymore because he just sounds like he's been a smoker for the last 60 years. Bernie Sanders, he already had a funny enough voice, but now it's just getting even worse. And I don't know if he's gonna fucking recover from that anytime soon. Not if he keeps fucking yelling the way he's fucking doing. That's not gonna help anything. But dude, it sounds like he's got a big fucking hole in his lung. I can't even believe it, man. It's because he's been doing all that yelling. and I don't even know if it's real yelling. I think it might be an act that he's just putting on, but well, I don't know. Let's keep fucking watching this video because it's funny. This is Bernie Sanders ranting right now from the Democratic debates, but there's some other people saying some stupid shit in it too, so check it out.
Because they suffered with a diagnosis of cancer, and our program is the only one that does that.
We know Donald Trump's a racist, but there is no red badge of courage.
We know Donald Trump is a racist, but there's no red badge of courage that you get for calling him out on it. That's great, Cory Booker. Dude, that's amazing. Once you can be a politician just from calling somebody a racist, and that's like something good that gets the crowd riled up and makes them like want to vote for you. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, I don't even know. I don't know if that happens right now in any other society on the planet where all you have to do is just call your opponent a racist, and like that's considered like a great fucking policy idea for some reason. But Cory Booker's doing a good job at it, man. And man, look at him. He's doing it with a big bald head and some serious fucking style. But let's just keep listening to him. I mean, personally, I really don't fucking care if Donald Trump's a racist. I think Donald Trump's a cuck just like the rest of them. But take it away, Cory Booker. You have the floor.
Houston, we have a problem. We have a guy there that is literally running our country like a game show. He would rather lie than lead.
President Trump, you've spent the last 2.5 years full-time trying to sow hate and division.
This is so cucky right now, dude. This is one of the saddest moments in the debate, I think. I think because Kamala Harris was just getting such a little amount of attention during the debate, she tried to make up for it by just giving Donald Trump like nasty messages and stuff like that, because she thought that might stimulate the crowd enough to maybe give her some points, because she knows that the most important thing is that everybody just hates Donald Trump. So I think that's why she took the little bit of time that she was actually given tonight to do that. But this was so stupid, dude. And then I'm pretty sure at the end of it's at the end of this clip that she just tells him to get back to watching Fox News. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, like anybody cares about that. I mean, Kamala, everybody knows you go home and watch CNN. So you know, what the fuck difference does that make? But let's listen to the rest of this. This is funny.
Among us, and that is why we've got nothing done. You have used hate, intimidation, fear, and over 12,000 lies as a way to distract from your failed policies and your broken promises. The only reason you've not been indicted is because there was a memo in the Department of Justice that says a sitting president cannot be charged with a crime.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used.
Man, I really wish I would have gotten the part where she said she wants Donald Trump to go back to watching Fox News, because I think that was like one of the funniest clips in the whole fucking Democratic debate. I thought it was so funny, but that's too bad. But here's let's keep watching. There's a little bit more of this clip here.
I believe that what unites us up here, the 10 of us, is much stronger than what divides us. And I think that's true of our country, too.
He handled what happened in his hometown is meaningful. To look in the eyes of those people, to see those kids, to understand those parents, you understand the heartache.
But this is
we
the
are
problem.
ready to do this.
Mr. Vice President.
Pandering overload. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. It's so much pandering and so much pandering. It's so ridiculous. He's not even saying anything here. I mean, oh, wait. Let me just rewind this. He's not even saying anything here. Let's listen to this clip again. This is Joe Biden talking about guns, but he's not saying anything.
And I think that's true of our country, too.
He handled what happened in his hometown is meaningful. To look in the eyes of those people, to see those kids, to understand those parents, you understand the heartache.
But this is
we
the
are
problem.
ready to do this.
We are ready to do this. To look at the eyes of the people in his town, we are ready to do this. He fucking didn't say anything there. What a fucking asshole, man. Dude, this is why these people are fucking so full of shit. I mean, god damn it. I can't even believe people cheered for that. I mean, these people are fucking brainwashed.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. You did bring.
You said they would have to buy in.
If she qualifies for Medicaid,
Oh, and this is great, dude. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, this is great. So this was close to the end of the debate, and Julian Castro is arguing with Joe Biden because Joe Biden did actually say that his fucking people, his fucking American citizens that wanted his fucking bullshit socialist health insurance would have to buy in if they lost their jobs or something like that. And Julian Castro's like giving him shit because they'll have to pay for it and all. And Julian Castro's pan he's like no, he's like, I'm just gonna roll and I'm just gonna be the ultimate socialist and just take care of you. So this is them arguing about that, and then basically Julian Castro insults his memory because he's old. So listen to this. This is ridiculous.
Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago?
I'll rewind it here so you can see the whole thing. It's ridiculous.
Buy
have to buy in. If she qualifies for Medicaid,
are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago?
Be in for it.
Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago? I mean, I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
So we thank The Guardian for that little fucking video. Yeah, so that was some of the other cuckery that was in that fucking debate last night. And dude, there was so much other cuckery that was in it that was so ridiculous. It was basically just a fucking giant debate of who could fucking out-left each other. I mean, and they were all just criticizing each other because their fucking healthcare plans weren't socialist enough, that they weren't gonna fucking be socialist with immigrants, that because they weren't gonna pay for illegal immigrants' health insurance. Like the American people can't even afford to pay for their own health insurance, and they're criticizing each other because they want to fucking pay for illegal immigrants' health insurance. So it's just crazy, and they're criticizing each other for that, which is just fucking completely off the wall. Like anybody's got the fucking money to do that shit. And then here's another fucking hilarious part. They're criticizing Joe Biden for actually they had this Latino debate host there, and he was one of the moderators, right? And he was translating a little bit in Spanish for some of the Spanish viewers, I guess. But at one point he asked Joe Biden why they should even trust the Obama administration after millions of deportations. And then Joe Biden goes on his little rant, and then the moderator's like, "You didn't answer the question." And Joe Biden's like, "Yes, I did." Then they just go back and forth in that little argument. I wish I had a clip of it. It was so funny, dude. It was just that kind of cuckery all night. And then there were some protesters that stormed the stage. It was so ridiculous. Or they like stood right in front of the stage and they were like chanting down Joe Biden because him and Barack Obama did fucking deport 3 million people. So just insanity, dude. And they did that on national television on ABC. So that was pretty funny. Lots of cuckery in the Democratic debate. Really fucking funny stuff. I'm a little bit overdue for the next break. I'm going to take the next break, and then we're going to come back and do the last segment about fucking who the fuck is Jessica Yaniv, who came across my radar this past week. And you guys are going to fucking love this. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. This fucking bitch. This is a transsexual she-male, a male that wants to be a female, but he will never be a female as long as he lives because he's a big, disgusting blob. And I'll show you this individual when we get back because I've got video clips and you're gonna like this shit. It's gonna entertain you. So stick around. It's the James Journal XBLN Bullion Network. We'll be right back.
It starts in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, surges down to Baltimore City, flies up to Manchester, New Hampshire, and all over the world. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network.
Join the XBLN Bullion Network Discord at discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. Chat with other listeners, talk about hot topics, and even request songs for Reverb 2.0 and the Request Songs Forum. Call the live shows at the XBLN Bullion Network studio with the on-air call-in lines and high-definition audio. Download the Discord mobile app so you can take advantage of all the high-definition call-in features. Go to discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. discord.xblnbullionetwork.com. We get it, okay? Radio these days is terrible. That's why you're here, because you're sick of hearing the same top 40 songs on the radio day after day, over and over again. You can support XBLN Bullion Network and the revolution in radio by liking XBLN Bullion Network on Facebook. Just go to facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com. That's facebook.xblnbullionetwork.com and hit the like button. It's that simple. Just take a second to do it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Did you know that XBLN Bullion Network now has a video feed on Twitch? The Twitch feed is available during our live shows here in the XBLN Bullion Network studio in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and during some other shows too. To get there, just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out, especially if you subscribe to Amazon Prime. If you're a member of Amazon Prime and you subscribe to our Twitch, we'll get a cut of your annual membership fee. Believe it or not, this is one of the easiest and best ways you can support XBLN Bullion Network, and it doesn't cost you any extra money. Just go to twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. And once you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It takes you 1 extra second, and the difference it makes to XBLN Bullion Network is enormous. Twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. That's twitch.xblnbullionnetwork.com. You're listening to XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionnetwork.com. Brought to you by Bullion Media at bullionmedia.net. That's bullionmedia.net. Yo, you know what this song means? It means we're coming into the last segment. It's a doozy though, you'll like it. We'll have some fun. You're on the James Journal, by the way, on XBLN Bullion Network. You've been with me all night tonight since 11:30. We're probably going to be, at the end of the show, coming up on a good 2 hours of broadcasting here, like always. And we've had a lot of fun tonight. We talked about Jeffrey Epstein. We talked about the cuckery at the Democratic debates, which was hilarious, by the way. I might even watch some more Democratic debate highlights before I go to bed tonight, smoke some weed, get some good laughs in. And, like, dude, as entertaining as the president is, as fun as it is to laugh at him, I got to say, I had a great time laughing at the Democrats in the Democratic debates last night. There's never a dull moment anymore. They're all so entertaining. It's like watching a circus. It's like going to the fucking circus every day, but it's all on the news. And you don't have to pay for it because now you can just get on YouTube. It's great, dude. I love it. And I wanted to spend the last segment talking about this bitch, Jessica Eve, this disgusting blob that insults the transsexual community by calling herself a transsexual. You guys are going to love this shit. Okay, so this person came across my fucking radar probably about a week ago, at least a few days ago. And here's how it happened. She came up in my radar because fucking I was just scrolling on Facebook, and I saw an article that said something along the lines of like SJW it like gets xenophobic with a Muslim man, and I was like, what? I was like, that sounds really funny. So I clicked on it, and I come to see this article, and sure enough, there is this disgusting fat blob. It's a picture of the article. Right when you click on it, is this disgusting fat blob next to a picture of a poor Muslim man just wearing a turban, minding his own business, just sitting there minding his own fucking business completely. And this is what she posts on Twitter. So she's got the picture of him, because I'm not even gonna do him the honor of calling him her, because that would be insulting to the transsexual community. So I'm gonna call him. So it's a picture of him sitting next to the guy in the turban, and Jessica Eve, him, is wearing a Canadian Maple Leaf baseball cap, because that's so ladylike, right? And she's wearing the baseball cap. And she's sitting next to this Muslim guy, and she tweets out with a picture of him sitting next to the Muslim man who's not even paying attention to this. He's just like looking off into the distance in this photo. She says, "Turban fucker." She says, "Me sitting next to turban fucker." That's what she calls the guy in her tweet. This so-called social justice warrior, Jessica Eve, calls this poor Muslim guy fucking minding his own business a turban fucker. And he is a fucking fat blob that gets to call himself a fucking transsexual and insult all the real transsexuals out there, which is so not fair to them. And so he fucking says that he's a turban fucker just because he's a Muslim guy wearing a purple turban that's sitting next to him. And that's how this person actually comes on my radar, just because I see this article, right? And I'm like, okay, well, this is ridiculous. I was like, well, this is pretty funny. So I'll share this. And I shared it on Facebook. But then I come to find out after that this person had also been in the news a couple weeks earlier for fucking trying to, because he is a transsexual and thinks he's a woman for some reason, went into a Canadian as esthetician, a waxing parlor, I guess, and fucking at the waxing parlor tried to get one of the women who worked there, one of the women estheticians, to wax his fucking disgusting fat cock and balls that he calls a woman's cock and balls. He basically walks into this place. He goes, "I'm a woman. Now wax my cock and balls," because that's really womanly light. And basically the esthetician was like, "Oh my god, no! Like, there's no fucking way I'm waxing your cock and balls, you disgusting blob." The same way, of course, the same way any normal human being would react in the situation. And once you actually see this person, by the way, you won't feel bad. I mean, you'll feel bad for the esthetician. You won't feel bad for this fat slob. But that's what happened. And of course the beauty esthetician was like, "This is fucking disgusting." She's like, I can't touch you. You're fucking, look at you. You're dirty and you're disgusting and you're fat. And because this person is a fucking sociopath, this Jessica Yaniv person, this person is now trying to take these estheticians to court and sue them, so they lose their license to practice, waxing and estheticianship, I guess, in Canada, and lose their businesses, and of course they have to pay punitive damages in the civil lawsuit to this fat blob, which they really owe no money to, and it just ruined their lives. And this person, Jessica Yaniv, this transsexual man, who also, by the way, I'll go into a second, happens to be a pervert, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. That's this person's fucking wrong. That's like the sick fucking twisted shit that's going on in this person's mind. Now, then after I found that out, then I fucking found out about a person named Blair White, who is another transsexual woman who's not a disgusting fat blob. Actually, this person actually looks like a woman. I was like, whoa, holy shit, this is a man. Like I feel a little weird saying it, but you should look at this person, Blair White. You can Google her. But she interviewed Jessica Yaniv on her YouTube channel and went over some other allegations, even more allegations that I haven't listed yet, that I found fucking appalling. But by the way, just to give you, I'm going to Tarantino this. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you her schools, because get this disgusting person, Jessica Yaniv, graduated from this fake university that you can find online called Social Justice University. And you're going to actually have to go dig in online to find this, because it's such a joke. And I think Google's deranked it because it's so, even Google thinks it's a joke. Google with their left-wing progressivism. But they are on, you can find them, I think it's socialjustice.university. I think that's actually the name of their website, socialjustice.university. And this is a fucking school that's not accredited by any agency. It's not accredited. There's no coursework in this fucking school. There's just a bunch of fucking social justice, liberal, ridiculous, hardcore leftist studies here that don't require any coursework to take. But as a matter of fact, how they actually how they actually vet their graduates is their graduates actually just pay them money and tell the school what they've done that they think aligns with whatever study that's on their list of studies that they can vet. And then somebody at the school whose name none of us know, I guess, vets this process and then either gives them a degree or doesn't give them a degree, I guess, depending on what they've submitted to them. But this Jessica and Eve person was able to get a degree in LGBTQ plus rights and research. This fat blob who is ruining people's lives and being perverted, and like I said, I'll go into more of that in a second, was able to get a degree, an honorary degree, actually. And an honorary degree is separate, and I'll read the statement from the school for that in a second. But an honorary degree is actually even better than a standard degree from the social justice school. But really, I'm not sure how much better it is. It just costs more. So I guess you get that word honorary if you pay an extra $500. It looks like you get that extra word honorary from a school that's not fucking accredited on your degree, on your fucking non-existent degree. That doesn't make any fucking difference. But before I actually read this school's statement about Jessica and Eve. And you're gonna like this. And since I'm Tarantinoing this, I'll even hint this a little bit more to you. I reached out to them to do a little bit of investigative journalism myself to see if any of these allegations were true, including the perversions that I'm gonna go over in a minute. And they were like, "Oh my God, these allegations are ridiculous." But no, we don't know anything about this. But just to Tarantino this and give a little bit of foresight of how this story is going to unfold. But before I do that, let me just read you off a couple of these other ridiculous degrees that they're handing out at this fucking fake school that you can basically buy a degree from for a couple $100. There's the very first degree that you can buy from the school is activist strategies and concepts. What the fuck is activist strategies and concepts? Get the fuck out of here. That sounds fucking stupid. That sounds like anything that any political activist, even a fucking right-wing political activist, could give you fucking research to do. So just go fuck yourself. That's a bunch of fucking nonsense. Here's something ridiculous. The very next one on this, the very next line on this fucking list of degrees that this school gives out is age awareness and research. Like ageism is the new fucking racism. So they've got a new degree now about ageism because there are people that are being ageist in our society. Too ageist. We're not being politically correct enough. We're being too ageist. You fucking ageist fucks, you bigots. Ageist assholes. Thank God we got Social Justice University to hand out these age awareness degrees to the people that are fighting you in your ageist tactics. So let me just go over a couple more of these because some of these are just... Here's one right now. Anti-fascist strategic studies. Anti-fascist strategic studies. That's one on the list too. Anti-exclusionary concepts and anti-poverty concepts and research. There's 3 antis on this list, and they're all stupid, all 3 of them. And some of these, depending on how reasonable you are, might be even considered reasonable to some extent. Like even LGBTQ studies, I could even take that seriously from anyone else except for this fucking fat blob that I'm reporting the story on right now. If it was anybody else that had gotten that degree, I could probably take it actually fucking a little bit seriously, to be honest. Now, that's not to say that you're going to actually fucking get a job with that degree, because you won't, but at least I could take it more seriously than I could giving it to this fucking fat blob, who I'll go over in a second more. But let me just read a couple more of these, because some of these are just really funny. Here's one: internet and the impact of social justice, because somebody out there has the fucking knowledge of internet and the impact of social justice and a degree in that. I'd like to see how many fucking degrees of these they've given out. I think that's just fucking ridiculous. It's absurd. Oh my God. Okay. Here's one. and I don't mean to make fun of the feminists, because if it was just if this was just a degree in feminism, fine. I'll take that. I'll take that seriously. But this is what this degree is in. Women's empowerment strategies in developing nations. Great. Okay, so you're going to get a degree in fucking women's empowerment in developing nations. So basically, Ilhan Omar, when she was accused of cheating on her husband in this past week, and I can go over that another week, because that's a great story too. That's women empowerment, because once women start, because even though she claims to love the Muslim religion, she went against the Muslim religion and had an affair on her husband. But that's women empowerment in a developing nation, actually, according to Social Justice University. You should give that degree to Ilhan Omar specifically because she had an affair. That'd be really funny. I'd laugh at that. So that's from Social Justice University. Those are some degrees. So I'm Tarantinoing this. So let me go to the email. I reached out to Social Justice University, and this is how I'm going to Tarantino this now. Now we're at the point where I'm going to tell you why. So let me actually just read you my letter to them. Hello, all. That's how I addressed it. Cullen James here with XBLN Bullion Network. First, let me say in advance, I appreciate you taking the time to read my message and reaching back out to me in advance. I need your help. That's what I said in the message. The reason why I was reaching out is to get comment from your university for my radio show. I host a neo-progressive radio show. That's what I called it, a neo-progressive radio show, to ensure that I was going to get comment on this. Last thing I was going to do is say I'm an anarchist or a libertarian. On XBLN Bullion Network at xblnbullionetwork.com, I wanted to ask you about Jessica Yaniv's doctorate, because that's apparently what she has. She has an honorary PhD, okay? I just wanted to fact check a statement in which she graduated with the honors with a doctorate in LGBTQ studies. Is that the case? Thanks for verifying this for me. The other question I have is this. Did you realize before you awarded her the PhD that she allegedly had a history before her transitioning of being inappropriate with young girls on the internet? I'd like to get comment from the university as well so I can include in the reporting on my radio show. Last question would be this. If the allegations are true, is there an official revocation process to retract your degree or a similar process your university has to address these sorts of issues after the fact that they've come to light? Appreciate you taking the time to comment on my inquiry. Please reach back out. Really appreciate it. Once again, thanks, Cullen James. That's what I wrote to them. And this is what they wrote back to me in response about Jessica Yaniv's inappropriate behavior with young girls, which I'm going to prove, by the way, because I've got videos of this. Dear Cullen, thank you for your inquiry. Jessica Yaniv was awarded a PhD honoris causa honorary in parentheses, which is different from an honors. That's how they corrected me at first. The process is by an application which is made by a sponsor who nominates a person based on their work or activism in a particular field. We were not aware of any allegations of being inappropriate with young girls at the time of the application and awarding process. We have since tried to verify these allegations, but have only found screenshots which can be easily manipulated. I guess they only looked on Google and didn't look, only Google images and didn't look too much farther than that. Yes, we do have a process to revoke an award if such an allegation was proven. Special regards, Leanna Johnson. Yeah, Leanna Johnson. So that's the message they sent back to me, and then I sent back one more message. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you reaching out for me, Tyler. And they're like, sure. And they're like, just so you know, assure your listeners, if Jessica Yaniv was charged by law enforcement with these acts relating to child or sexual predation, we would pull the degree in a heartbeat. That we can 100% guarantee you and your audience. So that's some good Tarantinoing right there. I bet you're interested now of seeing what this person has actually said to young girls. So check this out. I've got the video pulled up, and I've got a couple clips ready to go of this interview that she did on Blair White's YouTube channel. By the way, I got to say, this Blair White she-male is like the least manly she-male I've ever seen. Check this out. For those of you that are watching the Twitch stream, you're going to see what I mean by this. But this is going to be fascinating. So check this out. This is on YouTube, And this is an interview with Jessica Yaniv on Blair White's YouTube channel. She's like a center-leaning transsexual female. So watch this. This is the first clip. This is, by the way, of the allegations that I'm talking about now.
How do you respond to all of the allegations of you sending messages, tweets, emails, etc., to underage girls, asking them about their tampons, their pads?
By the way, I just want to comment on this too. I hope you realize now what I mean when I said a disgusting blob. And I hope you can recognize just by which one if you're watching the Twitch feed, I'm hoping you can determine what I mean by disgusting blob. Obviously it's the one on the right. That fucking ogre, that monster that you see on the right. Yeah. And by the way, yeah, the chick on the left, yeah, that's not a chick. That is a man, actually, apparently. Hey, you didn't hear it from me. Don't shoot the messenger. Apparently, that is a man. The chick on the left. I have to call her a chick because I know you're calling her a chick in your head, too. But that is apparently a transsexual female. So let's watch the rest of this clip.
Their menstrual cycle. And saying that if they were a little older that you would be with them. How do you respond to all those texts? Because in my opinion, they're incredibly damning. And I really hope you're not going to sit here and say all of them are fake, because that would be a cop-out that I won't let you do.
Yeah.
What is your response?
Unfortunately, I do have to say that they are fake.
That was funny.
Unfortunately, I have receipts. But
what I will say, though, is back in 2012, 2013, when I was working for this girl band, I'm not going to say the name. People know who it is, but just they don't charge me with anything.
Charge you with anything? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't want to say their name so they don't charge you with anything. Dude, this is weird, man. Dude, this guy's got this fat blob, this man on the right side of the screen. He's just got pedophile written all over the side, written all over his forehead. Let's just keep watching this clip.
And I did work for quite a popular girl band that is very, very popular on YouTube that involves 6 singing sisters. Pretty obvious now, but
when he first said that 6 singing sisters, I still had no idea what he was talking about. I did go online and find out what the name of this band is, but I still didn't recognize the name of the band. But and I already forget the name of it. But apparently there's a band of 6 sisters or something on YouTube. They're like a YouTube famous band. That's what he's talking about right now.
When I handled their social media, basically what I wanted to do is relieve. There was a lot of drama and a lot of tension that was building, especially in those early years. So what I did, I reached out on my Twitter and I said, "Hey, how old are you?"
Yeah. How old are you? That's that fat blobby ogre talking to a couple 12-year-old girls. You like that? How what if that was your 12-year-old girl? About that why the fuck do you want to know how old my 12-year-old is? Get the fuck away, you creepy fucking pervert. That's what you think to yourself. So have some sympathy for these other people, why don't you? Let's keep watching this clip.
To try and create almost like a fan base in a sense, and pretty much alleviate those tensions.
By the way, this sounds like the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. I just want to get that out of the way too. Such bullshit.
Yes, I can see
it. Wait, hold on. So you had to tweet all these underage girls asking how old they are because it was for your work, is what you're saying.
It was for my work. It was.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna get to this. Saying that all those messages are fake is a lie, and unfortunately, that. It's a lie.
Okay, so she's gonna call her a liar because she does have receipts. Receipts from the messages apparently that she sent to these girls. So I want to believe her. I don't see why she'd lie about that. But here's another pretty interesting clip that I want to play for you, and it's from the same video. This one is where they're actually talking about how this person tried to get one of these estheticians in Canada, these female estheticians in Canada, to try to touch this fucking fat blob's disgusting, nasty dick and balls. Would you want to touch that thing's dick and balls? You got to ask yourself that question, because if the answer is no for you, the answer should be no for everybody. Yeah.
Do you think there is more harm done in you not having your balls waxed, or a woman being put out of business because she didn't want to wax your balls? Which of those objectively causes more harm?
I think the one that objectively causes more harm is a refusal of service to protected grounds. So if you want to put
yeah, the one that objectively not putting the person out of business, not putting the poor beauty worker that didn't want to touch your disgusting corroded fat blobby cock. It's actually you that was actually harmed more. Yeah, okay, I believe that.
Put it this way, to put it your way. Okay, to put it your way, essentially is getting my balls waxed is more harm to the whole world. Because
that was getting my balls waxed. Yeah, that's real ladylike. You fucking fat blob, disgusting fuck. Did you see the chick on the left like laugh too? Yeah, because that's fucking, yeah, that's about how ladylike you are. My balls, by getting my balls waxed. That's how much of a fucking woman you could ever hope to be.
With more harm to the whole world.
Because what's happening here, it's not just me, Blair. It's not just me.
I don't think, I'll be honest, I kind of think it's you, because I'm gonna.
Okay, it's disgusting. I can't. I think it's so gross. Okay, so we got a couple more clips here, and we're running out of time, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. This is a clip of this fat blob admitting that he has attended pool parties where underage girls are allowed to fucking take their tops off and basically run around naked without parental supervision. And this guy attends these parties and I guess like helps host them or something. This is disgusting. Watch this clip.
Much to get to. There really is so much to get to. Topless pool parties for kids. That is something that I feel like you really need to address. Do you think it's appropriate for you to host and or attend a party in which minors 12 plus are encouraged to be topless and their guardians and or parents are discouraged from attending?
Yeah, so this is something I really wanted to clear up. Is number one, this is not my event. This was never my event. This is an event that is done by an organization called Encompass Support Services Society.
Oh my god, dude, this is crazy. So first of all, he still hasn't denied that he's gone to he hasn't denied that he's gone to these parties. He's just said that he's not the one it's not his event. It's an event of Encompass Support Services, which basically sounds to me like just a pedophile front group, but for like a bunch of pedophiles that just want to touch a bunch of little kids, and they started an LLC to limit themselves from liability if they ever got caught. That's what that sounds like to me. But let's just keep watching this clip here.
And that is the post. I don't know if I can. That is the post right there.
Right. I saw that you had told people that it wasn't actually anything that you invented, but you planned to attend, correct?
No, no.
You're lying. I watched an interview with you the other day where you said you were planning to attend.
Oh my god.
We can't lie though.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I totally believe also that she did see an interview with this fat blob where he said he was going to attend this fucking disgusting party where a bunch of young girls were going to be topless that were 12 years old. And I just want you to look at that. If you're watching the Twitch screen, I just want you to look at that fat blob real quick. I just didn't take that. Just take it in real quick. What do you think of that? What does it make you want to vomit? Does it make you want to call the police? What does it make you want to do? It makes me sick personally. So we got still two pretty funny clips left. Okay, this is the first clip. Okay, so this is fucking so stupid, dude. This fat blob believes and claimed, I think earlier in the interview, and it might even be in this, and they talk about it more in this clip, but it might even be in this clip as well, claims that he is intersex and is born with both fucking genital parts, which is fucking bullshit. There is just no fucking way. That's such a lie. But he claims he can menstruate. This fat man claims that he can menstruate. So let's watch this get debunked here real quick, because I'm sure this is going to make me laugh and want to throw up at the same time.
Why do you think you can menstruate? You can't menstruate. You have a dick and balls. You cannot menstruate.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
You can't.
I can, Blair.
You can't though. You can't though. And you're lying. And you're lying. And why would you describe yourself as a guy who wears pads?
Disgusting. This is
because
disgusting.
I didn't send that.
You did.
This is so disgusting, dude. Oh my God, it's so appalling. And then here's one that's more for the Twitch viewers, but I just got to show this last clip, and there is some audio with it too. But this fucking fat blob is so engulfed in their imagination that believe that they actually have like some part of their body that's a vagina, that this person carries around fucking tampons. I can't even believe this. This is so ridiculous. It's like we're living on fucking Mars, but look at this shit. I can't even believe this.
But Blair, honestly, like,
hold on, let me finish, please.
Why would I have this if I didn't need to use it?
You just pull out a pad.
What?
You pulled out a pad.
Yeah. Why would I have them if I didn't need to use them?
Why would I have them if I didn't need to use them?
What?
This is real life, right? Like
This is real life.
Like I'm living, I'm breathing, I'm not asleep. Okay.
I'm not kidding.
And that is Jessica Yaniv, ladies and gentlemen. And some of you might have thought that I was some kind of transphobe when I started the segment, but no, I'm not saying anything bad about the other transsexual in this video. So I am not a transphobe, and as a matter of fact, I just hate this person. I just hate this fat, disgusting blob that is getting millions and millions of dollars of free media advertising from the media right now. And it's a disgusting human being. It's a child molester. It's a pedophile. It's a pervert. It should be... I don't want to... Look, I don't want to wish death upon it, but I'm just going to... Never mind. This... Oh, my God. I'm just so grossed out by this fucking blob. I've got this blob up on my screen right now, and I can just see it. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting to me. It just makes me want to vomit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're about out of time. I'm at the point where I've made myself want to throw up from all this, but you're definitely going to want to stick on XBLN for the next few weeks, because we definitely got the big Head Radio tribute from Grand Theft Auto coming up soon. We got the big Stephen from Ohio and Josh Smith debate. Hopefully it's still in the works, but Stephen from Ohio definitely wants to do it, and I'm trying to reach out to Josh Smith for that. They're both running for chairman of the Libertarian National Committee. Trying to get the Libertarian presidential debate going. I've got most of the candidates on board with that already. Just trying to reach out to Adam Kokesh and John McAfee. There's the last two that I haven't heard back from. That'll be in the coming weeks probably as well. Did get in contact with Jessica Collins, potential victim of Jeffrey Epstein, who she needs a platform to tell her story. Do want to get her on if I can. I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not. It'd be really great to get her on. It seems like she really needs to tell her story. I'd be more than willing to give her XBLN to use that as a platform. And Aria DeMezzo actually does want to debate Jessica Yaniv, if I can set that up, this fat blob that I've been talking about tonight, the anarchist female Aria DeMezzo. So that would be awesome to see. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I would love to see that set up too and happen on XBLN. And by the way, you're not going to get this kind of programming anywhere else, only here on XBLN Bullion Network. So thanks for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You have been locked on the James Journal on XBLNBullionNetwork.com. Really appreciate you sticking us around with us for the past 2 hours on this beautiful Saturday night. Gonna take a couple shots, maybe smoke a few bowls, watch the Democratic debates again, laugh at those cucks. And I'll see you next week. Reverb 2.0 comes on next Friday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. See you then. Good night, everybody.